All right, ladies and gentlemen,
that's a run that'll
we are live
offensive
here
line. They'll
with the
take that one all day long.
BFGO
Fundamental breakdown
game
by
of
the
the week.
defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
That is not the name of this.
Did you post the link?
And now another 1st and 10.
No, but I can.
Unfortunately.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second.
Are you talking? Can I hear you? What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Early down stuff
I can hear you, yeah.
in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A Chicago first down. The former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky.
All good to go?
Yep.
All right. So after a slight little technical delay, we are actually live here with the BFGO Week 3 Game of the Week. I'm your host, Fallen, joined here by Trevor. How's it going, Trev?
Yeah, it's going pretty good, man. Just, ready to get week 2 underway. Week 3? Week 3. Yeah.
We got two very, very good teams coming out of the NFC over here. Last week, Bears took me behind the woodshed, had a couple disconnects. It was wasn't too pretty. He'd have beat me by about 3 touchdowns had the whole thing had gone through. Definitely need a stronger showing next week coming up against. I got the Cowboys, fallen sun. And Milky last week actually took the commissioner booth behind the woodshed. Still got to investigate that one for possible gameplay violations, because he'd be cheesing. As for that, both these teams here could definitely compete and win their divisions. I think when we come talk about Instant, we all know he's one of the best players in the league, and Milkman is definitely trying to fight for that tier up there.
Unsuccessfully, unfortunately.
Unsuccessfully. Well, we're 2 weeks in. Lots of games, yeah. We got lots of games to be played here, so we'll see what Instant can do with the subpar quarterback in Mitch Trubisky. And that's a great play there by the linebacker.
Every week he's in, he has a subpar quarterback and a great defense, so I really don't expect anything to be different.
No, Instant knows how to win, whether you line up freaking Joe Montana at 70 years old or Mitch Trubisky in this case. I think Instant can win.
That was a poor decision on his part right there. That was kind of interesting how he didn't get picked off.
Yeah. I mean, the Cardinals linebacker made an excellent play on the ball there. You definitely have to give credit where credit's due.
Cody Parkey doing his best impression of a regular field goal kicker and actually getting it between the uprights. So that's impressive. Getting his confidence up.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
All right, not a bad return there. Milkman's
J.J.
got Jason. Yeah, very, very fast. Speedy deep threat. Speed kills, man.
Not the best route runner, though, unfortunately.
No, but
he's got about straight line speed, and that's pretty much it. But still a good receiver, because speed makes up for a whole lot.
In terms of mapping.
Yeah, I mean, he's not Rashad Perriman, so it's at least
there's that. About the gun here. He drops back to throw with Josh Rosen. Passes over the middle, and it is incomplete. Broken up there by the Chicago defender. It looked to be a slot corner. Bryce Callahan possibly on that one.
Yeah, I'm like 6 seconds behind you. Again.
Fix your shit, dog.
I don't know what it is, bro. I really don't know what it is. We watch the same streams every time. Why am I always behind? Are you on a computer?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, you gotta get that computer, dog.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run
well,
good read, take it check down.
Yeah, Milky's is set up here now at 3rd and 5. He's got to come up with a play here.
Cover 3 back-to-back times.
Yeah. Milky looks like he's audible in there at the line. Rosen drops back to throw. He's pressured and spouts over the middle to David Johnson. A little dump off. That's good for about 13 yards. As the Cardinals offense that struggles to find much of anything, he's got to find ways to get David Johnson involved there, and definitely hitting him out of the backfield is a great way to go.
He got hit as soon as he threw too, so he got that out just in time, I believe.
Inston's moving his defensive line here, adjusting the pressure, and Milkman. Well, that was a weird play there. David Johnson just kind of sat because Inston beat him right there to the hole.
Just did a little ballerina twirl.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't bad in play if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how many times he's going to run cover 3 in this game, because Inston's been running cover 3 quite a bit. I wonder if it's a game plan or what.
Well, I think he's got to make Milkman beat him vertically, because Milkman's offensive line is awful. Look for Khalil Mack to have a huge game, and wow, that's just not a good throw. There's simply no excuse for that one. Inston's perfectly fine with rushing 3 and making Josh Rosen beat him in zone coverage. I think if you're Instant, your game plan here is, I'm going to make that rookie quarterback beat me. You can't let David Johnson beat him. But Inston's a very good user, and I think he's definitely got a solid game plan that will take David Johnson, the best players out of this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think he kind of game sense around that. His pass rush always ensures he doesn't have to cover the field for too long. So
he's got the best defensive player, or if not one, he's number 1B. Khalil Mack and the Cardinals' right tackle is awful. So Khalil Mack could definitely.
Andre Smith, I think it is. I don't know if it's Andre Smith.
He signed Austin Howard. Out of agency the first week.
Who was not impressed.
No. He gave up. I know he gave up 4 sacks in one of the games earlier this year. So this is not where you want to be if you're Milkman. You've got to get a stop here defensively, because Inston's going to get all the momentum coming up here. And believe it or not, I think that's a real thing in Madden.
Oh, it actually is. The momentum system is actually a thing. It's actually broken, to be honest.
So Instant lines up in double tight here out of the shotgun. Wide receiver split outside, moves, drops back to pass, dumps it off to Trey Burton. He's going to fight on forward for about 7 yards after a nice hit stick there over the Cardinals defender. That's a tough, powerful run there by Trey Burton. He's an athletic tight end. Didn't really get much playing time for Philly. You know the talent is there. He's definitely a weapon that is athletic and can make big plays for Mitch Trubisky. Listen, just hands off a little short inside zone there with Cohen. That's good for a first down. About 8 yards on that one.
And if Trubisky ever goes down, Trey Burton can serve as quarterback. He's got a few plays in the Super Bowl, so
Yeah, the old dilly Philly special out here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm impressed with how much he's running in between tackles with success.
Yeah,
against his Bears defense.
You don't really think of Cohen as that, between the tackles backs. I certainly never had any success with him when I played like that. I think Cohen's sort of the guy that you just need to get him the ball. So, in whatever way possible, he's got to get the ball in his hands.
He's a playmaker for sure.
Off Mitch Trubisky, because he's gonna make big plays should you keep feeding him. How much he can hold up, we'll see. But he's definitely a weapon that everyone would want on their team.
Now it's Trubisky. He's going to flip that.
See there, a little dump off pass, literally 2 yards, and gets 18 after just a little catch and run, just a simple screen play. Great play call there.
Good speed and burst. But I think how long with the broken collarbone is really going to hurt him significantly. Because he was getting that interior run game going. I don't think it's going to be near as successful with his best line out, So, look out for that. For oncoming weeks, too, because broken collarbone is no injured.
Broken ribs, but still just about as bad there. That's still a huge injury to one of his best linemen, who's a very, very solid, average to above average starter. Linemen are certainly hard to come by. I think that's one that you're going to see that's going to hurt a little bit, especially from the interior when he comes up and he plays some of these, phenomenal defensive lines like the Vikings have two really solid guys in the middle. Even Snacks Harrison, that's going to hurt him later on, just divisional-wise. So he's now, after that holding penalty, that sets instant up at 1st and 20. He's got to make a big play here. Doesn't have to get it all back, and boom, short dump off to Cohen, and that's a first down. Down to the 5. That's a touchdown for Tariq Cohen. You can't draw up a better play for that. A 30-yard strike there from Trubisky. Little dump off to Tariq Cohen. Good for the Chicago score. That puts them up 9-0, pending a Cody Parkey PAT.
Low-key, I thought Milkman was the Bears for a second. I have no idea why. Like, for like the whole drive, I was like, damn, Milkman's driving.
Nope. Instant kick puts that kick right through the middle, and that puts Chicago up 10-0 with 1:32 left in the first quarter. We'll skip on to the kickoff now. And that's a deep kick, about at the 4-yard line. Returned here by J.J. Nelson. Good burst. Makes a cut. He's out to about the 30-yard line. Above average return there, nothing too crazy, just sets him up a little bit closer and doesn't have as much of a long field. So, Milkman, he's got to come up with at least the field goal or some points here if I'm him. I think you've got to show that you can move the ball against one of these top-tier defense. So he's going to start out by motioning David Johnson out wide. That sets up Josh Rosen up, empty set in the gun. Steps back to pass, has all to throw, hits the drag route, tight end. Good for 13 after he makes a little truck move there, and that's what you want. If you're a Milkman, you don't want your quarterback, your rookie, inexperienced quarterback to have to make tough throws. So the little dump off there to Jermaine Gresham set him up for only a 6 or 7 yard gain. Gresham did the rest.
And then definitely get that confidence up with his quarterback, because Rosen is starting out against this Bears defense, and last week didn't have the best week either. Did he? I can't remember who played actually.
Yeah, so just a quick little outside zone run there with David Johnson. Sets Milkman up for 2nd and 4. Rosen in the gun. Johnson to the right of him. It's going to be give to Johnson. Powers forward. That's going to be a first down. Cardinals gained it about 9 on the play. The stop was made by Eddie Jackson and Roquan Smith, I believe. Roquan Smith, big rookie coming out. He's going to be a guy that he's got, all-pro potential. He can just flat out make plays, and as I say that, Milkman gets him the jump, but it's going to be a free play, and that's a nice completion there for 9 yards to J.J. Nelson over the middle. J.J. Nelson, it'll be interesting to see how he can develop given a full season here under an experienced user that likes fast wide receivers. He's got to obviously improve his route running and catching, but we all know once he gets the ball in his hands and he can shake loose, no one's going to catch him.
Yeah, and go back to Roquan. I think Roquan's such a great player because he's got that field awareness too that not many linebackers have in this new era of passing game. He's got great zone ability, and he also has the speed to shoot the gaps and make big plays.
Yeah, I mean, Roquan Smith is a weapon that is going to be in real life, is going to be the cornerstone of this Bears defense for a good 10 years. But in terms of Madden-wise, I mean, you can't ask for much of a better linebacker ever. And Milky's going to dump off there for about 3 yards, but that's going to be a hit stick. It looks like the Bears are covered, so not what you want to draw up there if you're Milkman. After the holding call, makes a throw, and David Johnson just flat out coughs it up. I believe that was Roquan Smith on the forced fumble and the recovery. He said he doesn't need any help, man. I can get it all in one. So that is not what you want if you're Milkman. And then these turnovers just cripple you. You had something going, you moved it at least 50 yards. You were in field position just to set up a field goal, and you're stoned. That hurts.
Well, we ran the cover for the 4 words to beat the cover 3 because Indy's been running all game. He dumps it off to David Johnson. David Johnson could not make a play and fumbles the ball, which is not what you want to do. Superstar running back.
Yeah, I mean, he's your superstar running back. He's got to have less than. You don't want him to put the ball on the ground ever, especially with his high usage rate. I mean, you come back, you get a nice stop there, You know, first down, they only get about a yard, but you've got to be able to make a play coming out. And he's going to fire right over the middle. Wide open is Anthony Miller. It looked like Milkman missed the coverage. Or I'm not quite sure if that was his read. I think he might have been playing the underneath with the edge guy blitzing, but that's a hell of a throw by Mitch to scramble
that's
outside.
That's a hell of a catch too.
Yeah,
laid out.
That was not necessarily
Anthony
the
Miller?
easiest throw, but Mitch, you can't complain. And oh my, Mitch got sandwiched. Hell of a pass rush there by the Arizona Cardinals. Look like Robert Kimdichie and the nose, Adolphus Washington, maybe. Or no, sorry. Maybe an edge defender. Couldn't quite get his name, but that's got to fire up if you're a defensive player. That's a huge stop that puts him back out of field goal range. So,
well, Kimdichie has not played on rush downs a lot because he doesn't have the great physical to get through blocks, but he's a very good pass rusher.
Did we get a switch there by both teams?
Inside the 30. It goes for 18 there.
Interesting.
The will continue.
Looks like we did. Maybe I don't know if Milky did it, but I know for sure Instant did it.
I know for sure. Let's review. We'll send that one under review. And it looks like...
known people. We're handing out $10 million fines.
No, Instant did not switch. So that's an interesting one here, and he's going to pound it off to, or hand it off to Howard, who pound forward for about 5. Deion Buchanan made the stop there. You know, little wispier, thin linebacker. He's got the speed, but he doesn't have the size. He's one of those guys that you got to think he's a very good in pass coverage. Can he develop? Can he beef up? And can he be a complete 3-down linebacker?
I'm pretty sure Instant did not switch. I said it because I thought, again, that Milky was the Bears and Instant was the Cardinals.
My goodness.
So I don't know why I'm confused. I don't know what's wrong with me.
That's an interesting one for sure. And wow, what a throw by Mitch Trubisky there. He ran a little boot pass, and that set up a 21-yard completion to Anthony Miller over the middle. You can't ask for much. Moving route, beat man coverage. And he's able to work his way down to the 5. This is all going downhill for Milkman. This game is possibly going to get out of control. After that fumble and then a score, things are not looking good if you're the Cardinals. You've got to be able to muster up a field goal, or hold them to a field goal, I should say, after all this is not going your way.
Definitely not. A touchdown here would be devastating, and honestly just kill his chances of it coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Instant is not the type of guy that's going to release. He's going to sit, he's going to run the football, and you're just not going to have much time. He's going to run the football and play defense and make you earn everything.
Yeah, and when he runs the football, it's not like he doesn't get any yards either. He usually has success. And he'll move the football and probably score more.
So the ball position now at the 3.
Yeah, you know, he's always had he's always had very good running backs, just judging him traditionally being a very solid running team. I mean, it's no secret here. Jordan Howard is tough, hard-nosed runner that can run between the tackles. He can even work on the outside a little bit. But then he's even got Cohen, who can be a nice pass catcher and spell him in any way you want. You know, I think you can still give him 10 carries a game, just out of different roles. You know, on draws, on pitches, maybe not necessarily inside zones, but he's small enough that he can make it work. So,
I mean, he's had success this game. So I mean, it seems like he's been the only person I've seen to be able to actually do that.
Yeah, so that sets us up a 3rd and goal here. Mitch is out of the shotgun, Cohen split out left. Mitch drops back to pass. He's stepping out to the right, rolls left. He's going to playmaker, and that is a touchdown there by Anthony Miller. Wow, what a throw, what a catch. Great play. I mean, wow. Just wow, that's a hell of a
That was some Aaron Rodgers shit right there.
Yeah, that looked like what, the Bears had all them picks and drafted Mitch so high. Is he can roll out, make plays, and then put it on the money.
Where was Mitch from again? A Tar Heel? Was he a Tar Heel?
Yeah, North Carolina Tar Heel. Was a 1-year starter, sat behind a below-average quarterback can't quite remember his name, but you know, he did his time. Him and Ryan Switzer were balling out over there. I was never really one of the biggest fans of.
I don't understand how to be honest. In small town football school. It was a big time basketball school, but football not really a thing down there. And just it was very interesting to me to have so much trust in such a one quarterback. You know.
Correct. So Milky's down 17-0 now. He's going to line up in the pistol and just hand it off to David Johnson, who goes nowhere, and he is stopped by that defensive front for the Bears. He got maybe a yard, if that. That looked like it hurt there for David Johnson. You know,
you had body slam. That was some stuff right there.
That looked like a wrestling move almost. And, oh my goodness, that's another one dropped there by Roquan Smith. Milkman dropped back to pass, tried to dump it off to the little curl route to the receiver split out left, and that went popped right out of Roquan Smith's hand. We were just hyping him up, but he wants to be an elite linebacker. He's got to be able to make those plays. You know, something like that is crippling. You're done. You're toast. He's got the ball at the 30-yard line, up 2+ scores. So you've got to move it here if you're Milkman. We know we've been saying that every drive, but every drive matters against instant. That's gonna. Oh my! Just a couple yards short. Milkman dropped back, sent 4 guys deep, and he looked like he had a receiver open. It's just it looked like.
Good thing they do have a
Rosen
little
was
bit of
just
time
sold the throw.
Yeah.
When he had 2 guys coming right at him from both directions. So he was a little probably nervous. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if he did a fake punt here. I just wouldn't be mad at all because the way this game's going.
Yeah, and
I think Instant going to go again.
So a punt by Corey Bojorquez, I believe it's pronounced right.
They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football.
Not necessarily a good punt. I mean, he was back deep, and that's going to set the Bears up at the 39-yard line. Right in position to get some points again. So Mitchell line up under center. He's got 2 wide receivers and a tight end lined up right. Receiver split out left. Mitchell drop back to pass. Finds Trey Burton over the middle. Makes a man miss. He's going to break another tackle, and that'll be set the Bears up at the 25-yard line. You know, just as we had said before, Trey Burton is a monster. Milkman looked like he ran a cover 3 there, and they went 4 verticals on it, and they just simply didn't have enough guys to beat him. You know.
Trey Burton's a really good speedy vertical threat for a tight end. He's, I don't think he's the worst blocker either. So
no, I think he fits this modern tight end that can do like a little bit of everything, but is a very, very athletic guy. And the handoff to Cohen makes a man miss. He still fights about the 11.
Discount George Kittle.
Yeah, he just got popped there by DJ Swearinger, and that landed awkwardly. He looked like he was all right on that. Not what you want to see if you're Cohen. You definitely don't want him to get hit stick by them linebackers and safeties.
It was like an unintentional spin move almost.
Yeah. Well, a short handoff here to Jordan Howard. He'll break a tackle and fight for about 2 yards. Chicago really trying to slam this one in here, and Arizona is sending the house. They need a play. They need to come up with a turnover here. If this thing goes to a 3+ score game before halftime, you might see some backups that you haven't seen all year get in for Milkman, because Instant is really imposing his will on a rebuilding Cardinals team.
Yeah, he's really showing no mercy. Trying to basically get all those guys, 5 touchdowns like Crowell did. Pat's dad. At this point, it's just.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't feel like I think it's gonna be a bloodbath the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, this is a lot like me and Instant's game. Very, very one-sided. I mean, you give this guy the Bears. Could this possibly be the best team he's ever had? And
I would think so, to be honest, because the Jags, I think Bortles is much more of a hindrance than Trubisky is.
Yeah.
On offense, the Broncos had DT, and they also had Emmanuel Sanders.
Yes, but he's got Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller, plus the 2-headed monsters, and Trey Burton at tight end.
Yeah. So I think the line's much better too.
Correct. This line is, I know,
solid.
They're probably all 75 plus, so definitely an above-average line, and no real superstars, but in terms just a bunch of really solid guys that you really don't have to worry much about upgrading, and they'll get the job done. And that's another field goal there for Instant after a big sack by Milkman. That'll put him up 20-0 here at the 2-minute warning. Can Rosen execute this 2-minute drill to get Arizona, anything, so they don't lay a goose egg? I don't quite know because I was still setting the stream up then. So.
Well, if Instant did, and if Milky can drive down the field with a touchdown, and the next half open up with another touchdown, it's only a 6-point game. So it's really not out of reach here. If he can get something on this drive, but this has to be the drive where he turns on. Like, this is the point right here where he has to change things and get things going. Otherwise, it's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, and he didn't get much of anything going on there. He tried to hit him with the cheesy zone of post, and Instant sniffed that out right away. Ran right with it, and Rosen could not do much of anything. And Milkman's trying to set up the screen, and Instant sent the house. Lucky he deflected that because David Johnson had a whole convoy of blockers in front of him. If he'd have been able to
complete, he needed to play like that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it looked like Instant was right there too, so he might have sent the house, but he sniffed that out real quick. Instant's a very, very solid user.
Yeah, Instant's probably one of the top 3 users in this league. He's got a lot of high IQ with Madden, but he also has the user skills to pair with it.
Correct, and oh my, that'll be a pass over the middle. There you go. There's a little something, Milkman. Keep working. J.J. Nelson on the post. Looks like he beat the man coverage over there. So Milkman's going to set up in the no huddle now. He's got Ricky Seals-Jones lined up as his H-back, 2 wide receivers to the right of him. Wide receiver split out left, and David Johnson to the left of Rosen in the gun. Rosen making some audibles here, looking like Peyton Manning. Hopefully he's not on that hot route limit. Rosen drops back to pass, dumps it off to David Johnson, who will power forward, breaks a tackle, and he's going to fight forward for 9 yards. Almost got the first down, and Arizona's coming up with something now once they're picking up the pace.
Yeah, they're driving. Yeah. I don't think you'll press J.J. Nelson again, though, for sure. That's one thing.
Yeah.
You saw what happened on that play.
Wow. 2nd and 1, he hands it off to David Johnson, who gets met by 3 Bears on that play. That is not what you want to see. Those 2 big men in the middle for Chicago are very, very talented, and they made mincemeat of that Arizona offensive line right there. So that
Christian Kirk goes down, too. That's unfortunate. That's his second-best receiver.
Yeah.
I know he was hoping to do a lot of good things with this young receiver.
Yeah,
it's very
hopefully he's not out too long, because other than that, these wide receiver core is pedestrian at best. I know you've got Larry Fitz out here trying to burn cats in as Walker, but it's not going to get the job done.
He's likely going to retire after this season, and after that you've got Chad Williams and pretty much just Christian Kirk. So not much depth on J.J. Nelson.
Yeah, just coming in, he's got a hip pointer. He will not return for the rest of this game, and that's going to cripple Milkman's offense even more. This is not looking good at all. You hate to be negative as a broadcaster, but this is exactly what you don't want if you're the Arizona Cardinals.
Lost game and also having someone go out. That's not very good. And it's not a lost game yet, but at this rate, you can't get a touchdown here. I'm not sure about he's punting it.
Wow. I thought that had been the perfect. And he's going to get a little bit too much on this one. And that'll be a touchback with about 53 seconds left.
That's a questionable call for sure.
Chicago's still in position to go down and score again. They have had no problems whatsoever moving the ball on this depleted Cardinals defense. I know the Cardinals have the secondary. They've got Budda Baker, they've got DJ Swearinger, and they've got Patrick Peterson. They've got Chandler Jones, and they've got 2 solid linebackers in Hassan Reddick and Deion Buchanan. So, I mean, it's not a bad roster that has its pieces, but he's got to he's got to build up his defensive line. I think he's also got to bring in legitimate linebackers. In whatever form he sees them as. He might need that pure run stopper to go alongside Reddick or Buchanan.
Because they're definitely smaller, undersized linebackers.
They're both going to get mauled in the run game. While they might be pretty solid in pass coverage, I think they're going to get exposed here.
And another thing is, I go back to that call. I really don't understand why he didn't go for it there, because it's 4th and 3, and Instant, if you don't get it, Instant has better field position to score maybe a field goal, but if he wasn't going to do it with that, he was going to do it anyways if you didn't get it, I mean, or if you punted it. So I don't understand that call. And if he goes for it, he has a chance of getting at least 3 after that, and if not, a touchdown and changing the game. On a 4th and 3 after you've had trouble driving all day,
You got to go for it. Why not? You know, you can't play conservative after getting destroyed. You got to make some plays to win the game. So,
and a drop pick there. That's really lucky by him. Was that Buda Baker dropping a pick?
Yeah, he didn't even try and catch it. He looks like he just stepped his arm out. And Milkman was showing cover 3. It looks like he's going to drop two to 4 guys playing 2 or 4. Mitch is going to line up in the shotgun. It's going to be a pass over the middle complete to, guess who? Trey Burton breaks a tackle. And he's going to fight forward down to the 32-yard line. That's a gain of about 30. And Trey Burton is absolutely working this Cardinals defense. You know,
no, you're really regretting just making that call beforehand.
He's been playing man. He just doesn't have an answer for Trey Burton. I wish he'd have done this well for me in TFGO, but, you know, there's a difference between me and Instant out here.
Yeah.
All right. So Instant called a timeout. He's going to line up in the gun. Trubisky, Cohen to the right of him. Trey Burton, wide receiver, split out right. 2 to the left. Trubisky drops back to throw. Scrambles to the right. He's going to launch a bomb, and that is deep. And it looks to be pass interference on the corner. It looked like Anthony Miller had it beat. And that's going to be a pass interference. That'll set Chicago up at the 1-yard line.
That's very unfortunate.
Yep.
Wow, that's the last thing you wanted.
Oof.
10 seconds left. Oh.
Do you have anything else other than oof? I mean, seriously,
I really don't.
Nothing has gone Arizona's way. You know, after all the hype that was built around this game, Bears are going to toss it in there with Howard for 1 yard. Ugh,
I really don't feel like we should hype up Instant games anymore until we find some competition.
Yeah, I mean, Instant, this is his full-time job. He doesn't do anything. He pretty much has no life. He just recently
got his degree in Madden, so congratulations on that.
He plays in 3 full-time Madden leagues, so you know, he's always going to have the scouting reports.
He's the commissioner of all of them too, so you know.
Yeah, it's definitely
he makes all the rosters.
Yes, he knows all the star players. He
makes all the playbooks.
He literally will make a script for a Madden game. Like, who does that?
No, I've heard there's been times where people have caught cameras in their room when they're playing Madden, so he can spy on them and see what they're doing in game plan. That's just a rumor, but I've heard that he's a cheater.
Like, did you hear about the time he deflated footballs in his Super Bowl game?
I didn't think that one was true. What are your sources about that? I thought that might be
source. He's in a couple different leagues with him, so he definitely knows his profile well. Not revealing any names, but his first part might be big. He came recent to me with a leak. He said, you know, I've known this Instant guy for a while. He's been playing games, and you know, his wide receivers can catch everything, but mine just drop everything. It's like whenever he's on offense, you know, he doesn't fumble, he doesn't catch. It's like they deflated the footballs. So we'll have to see.
Maybe some pre-game roster adjustments are being made for Instant. You know, I feel like something fishy's going on here because no one can be this good at Madden. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, he's the Chad of the Madden League. You know.
Yeah, it's true.
He's like the perfect guy. As for Milkman,
it's true.
Some days you're the bug. What is it? What's that? I missed it.
The beta?
Nah, what is it? Some days you're the bug and some days you're the windshield? Or,
I guess so. That sounds about right. Sounds like it makes sense. Sounds like a segment here.
Wow, and that's a rare fumble there for Chicago. He handed it off there, simple dive up the middle, and Howard just coughed it up. It looks, that's clean. And
he got kind of lucky there because in that juke, he literally ran into the guy, but apparently it juked him out. So
as much as we were just hyping our Cardinals user up, or having the Bears user up, the Cardinals are set up not too bad here at the 31-yard line. Rosen will be
imagine if he had gone for it and got that touchdown before the half.
Yeah.
It would, like
Rosen
I said,
drop back to pass, and he's gonna oh my. J.J. Nelson just hit a brick wall. Roquan Smith dunked him. He tried to slip the little underneath route there on the drag to J.J. Nelson, and Roquan Smith picked him up and made him look like a peewee football player. Holy hell.
He did. He sent him down.
That one hurts.
Nelson's like a twig compared to Roquan, so.
Yeah. So that'll be 2nd and 10 here for the Cardinals. Rosen will drop back to pass. He fires over the middle, and that's intercepted, and oh my goodness. That'll be not intercepted. It'll be off the hands of the safety. caught by the Cardinals receiver in the back of the end zone. Is that going to be a catch?
Oh my gosh! I just now saw that.
That'll be upheld.
That is insane. Oh my gosh! What a play! What a play to drop the ball, first of all.
So
And
much for the...
what a play to...
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, so much
This is
for the
reminiscent
Bears,
of
not
the
getting anything.
Bengals-Ravens game years ago when it was sent to overtime because Ravens receiver tried picking it off in the end zone. It was tipped, and A.J. Green caught it to send the game to overtime. The Bengals lost that game, but it was just like that. So a little reminiscent of the past there. But what a way to just kill some momentum for your team. You know, I mean, obviously it's still a 20-point game, but I mean, an interception right there, and really could just definitely seal the game. And you do that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not back in it yet, but you've set it up so it's not all gloom and doom.
You had something happen for you that, you got a little lucky. So.
So that sets us up Chicago 27, Arizona 7, with about 10 minutes and 45 seconds left in this third quarter. So he's got a still whole half of football, and whatever Instant did there, Milky can easily do. It's Madden. You never know what'll happen, just like there. So Mitchell dropped back to pass, and he's going to scramble. He's got nothing but green grass ahead of him, and he's going to run for 22 yards. Milkman hasn't put a smile on him all day. Mitch has been breaking out of the pocket, and he's been able to run and find yards, sort of like...
Well, in real life, he does that quite a bit. He has that burst and that... I forgot which game it was, but he had some ball carrier vision, too, finding blockers, and so maybe... Instant can harness that.
Yep. That's definitely hard. That's such a back-breaking play, though. It's definitely hard to stop. And as Tariq Cohen gashes out about 8 or 9 on that inside zone, when you have a quarterback that can run, and Trubisky isn't necessarily the most accurate guy, but he can run and pick up 20 yards, and that just, boom, flips the field right there like that. So instead of him being up to 20, he's at midfield now off of a quarterback run because, Milkman blitzed and he had no one on that side of the field. As Cohen breaks a couple tackles, and that'll be a 9-10 yard gain there. We were definitely, skeptical of how Cohen would run between the tackles, but
yeah, he's been pretty great at it. I think it's I think the guards have opened up some space that he can use that quick burst to shoot through them. That's what he's benefiting from. He hasn't had to go through tiny holes and fight his way for yards. He's had his it's been kind of open field.
That'll be a boot there by Trubisky. Jumped off in the flats to A-Rob, and he's going to get tackled there for about a 7-yard gain. Mitch Trubisky is 14 of 17, 228 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's as good of a stat line as you're going to get. He hasn't missed many throws. He's managed the game well. He's made the short passes, and his wide receivers and tight end, Trey Burton, have done the rest. If you're drawing up a game plan for Instant, this is about just as well as you think your offense can play. Should Mitch improve a little bit, I think then you can start seeing some throws down the field. And he's going to roll it again with Mitch, who throws it away as he gets hit. And that's not a hit you want to see with your franchise quarterback. Even though he threw it away, he got absolutely creamed on that one.
Yeah, in a 20-point game in the third quarter, I really don't want your franchise quarterback getting laid out like that. He's got to have better awareness, better sideline awareness, too. The sideline's right there. Take a yard less and just get out of bounds,
And then Mitchell dropped back the pass, and guess who? Tariq Cohen. Right underneath, that'll be a gain of about 8. Mitch Trubisky, 15 of 19 now. That's superb accuracy. I'm not quite sure the percentage. It's easily over 80%, which is incredible.
See, the problem is he's got all these underneath routes with Cohen. The over top is Trey Burton right in the middle, so it's really pick your poison,
Yeah, and Allen Robinson can work downfield. He's got Anthony Miller, who's not necessarily great at anything, but he's more of a jack of all trades, master of none, from my experience with him. He can make plays when you get him the ball in the hand. He can go deep, more necessarily needed it, but in this he can work underneath. He makes plays when you put the ball in his hand. So definitely you can't really go wrong spreading it out here. And boom, there you go. Just as you saw it, Jordan Howard knows his role. grounds out about 5 yards in the triple tight end set there. That's big boy football by instant, pounding out that first down, and that's going to set him up a first and goal on the 9, up by 20. Score here, put Milkman right back out of it. But something I think we're forgetting on this drive, look at the clock. He's burned off at least 4 to 5 minutes on just this drive alone. Him taking away
it's been kind of bang plays too.
Yeah.
It's not even like he's been running it out.
Yeah, him taking away as much time as possible, it really makes things harder for Milkman to come back come the fourth quarter, and you got to make those do or die plays, and it's going to be a stretch play to Cohen, who will fumble, and that's going to be picked up by Arizona. It was looking like he was out of it, and that's tough. That's just like we had said. Can Cohen handle all these carries? Will he fumble? Will he get injured?
Well, to be fair, Jordan Howard also fumbled beforehand, so
yeah,
it's one fumble each for these running backs. Actually, one fumble each for the starters too, because David Johnson also fumbled. So
correct. Yeah, that's weird. Typically, you've seen backs that have carrying problems don't get snaps in the NFL. They're just a liability, and those fumbles by all those running backs. See,
Amir Abdullah in Detroit, he came out of what was it? Nebraska.
Yeah.
And he had fumbling issues, and they gave him a chance, and he still didn't perform well in the NFL. So that was the only recent one I come to mind. But a lot of running backs that come out of college with fumbling issues really do not get much playing time.
Correct. Le'Veon Bell had some fumbling issues, and then he cleaned it up, right? He didn't have one until what? A couple seasons? I can't actually no. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm thinking of a different guy.
I don't really know that stat.
Yeah. So that's just a bad throw by Rosen. He's going to try and set it up again. Drops back to throw, hitting the underneath route to Fitz, who makes the tough catch for 5 yards. That makes third down a whole lot easier rather than 3rd and 10. You had about 3rd and 5. That's what Fitz is. That's what Fitz is at in this stage of his career. Just a guy that'll go over the middle and make the tough catches. He's gonna make the contested ones. He's gonna make the ones in traffic and hold on. He just won't drop anything as long as you get the ball.
Unfortunately, he was never a burner, but now especially he's not very quick at all.
Oh man, and that's not what you want to see there. A strip sack there by Khalil Mack on Josh Rosen. He loaded up the throw, and that'll be, oh man, scooped up in the end zone by the Arizona, and that'll be a rare safety here in the NFL, which will put Chicago up 29-7 after that 2-point play. And that is a hell of a boot there by the punter for a touchback on the safety.
Jesus Christ. Is that your boy
Corey Bojorquez?
No. Seattle punter.
Oh, Michael Love Dixon.
Yeah, Michael Dixon. Or Johnny Hecker, the GOAT.
Yeah. Nah, dude. Still putting out there Michael Dixon's the best punter in the NFL. He can do it all. But actually, believe it or not, in real life,
drop kick.
Yeah, Corey Bojorquez. Little fun fact about him in real life: he was the Bills punter for the first couple weeks in the season, but actually got hurt on a fake. Well, maybe not fake, but it was a field goal that was botched, or he was basically what happened. He was the only one that ran the fake, and everyone else ran a field goal. So I think it was a miscommunication, but he ended up getting hurt and didn't play much of the rest of the year. So the Bills punting situation was nothing but dog shit in real life.
That's unfortunate because they can't really cut him. So
yeah, and wow, that's a dropped interception there by Patrick Peterson.
There's been a lot of drop picks today by both teams, but mainly the Cardinals, who needed them the most.
And that's the matchup you want. You want Pat Pete on A-Rob. That is, if you're Arizona, you've got to feel comfortable knowing that Allen Robinson is matched up against your best corner, meaning Anthony Miller, and as we've seen, Trey Burton have to make plays over the middle there. And he's going to dump it off to Trey Burton again. Another solid 20 to 30 yard gain. Actually, 36 yard gain officially. And Trey Burton has absolutely carved up this Arizona secondary.
It's really shocked me, to be honest, how their best two defenders, defensive backs, Buda Baker and Pat Pete has dropped those picks. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, and he's going to hit the draw there to Cohen. First one of the day, and that's good for about 8 or 9. Wow. Just like we had said, nothing is stopping the Chicago offense. He hits the big play over to
He really
Burton.
doesn't have the personnel to run 4-3 because they don't have that middle linebacker that can actually is very good in run defense either. And he's been dotted up all day in the passing game. So it feels like no matter which way he goes, personnel-wise, he can't match up correctly.
And this was a team this was their first year in the 4-3, so you still got to bring in the different bodies that fit the schemes, and you've got to get guys in there that fit all those roles, or you're gonna just get slapped around like this. This is not typically a roster. I mean, a lot of these defensive tackles are a little bit undersized as well. Adolphus Washington.
Kimdichie.
Yeah, Kimdichie. Adolphus Washington was really awful. He was a third or fourth round pick by the Bills as well. He had a very, very big year for Ohio State when they had won the national championship and really fed off that hype, and really hasn't done much of anything. Maybe he's a pass rush specialist, if that. But he didn't get much of a pass rush. He just, the potential might be there with him still being a very, solid, underrated player, but I don't think he's very good at all. And Kimdichie's, former bust. What has he turned out to after being, a first-round pick? I think it was a first-round.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think a big need for the Arizona defense is just a thumping middle linebacker that can assist out with these undersized linebackers in Buchanan and Reddick.
Yeah, maybe you see those guys as they're both, I think, weak side linebackers, but they're both playing in the middle there, and they can't be 220 pounds, if that. Once these linemen get a hold of them, you've got to have beast line. And wow, that's a rare drop there by Cohen. Wow, Butterfingers looked like instant out there back in his playing days. I know he tried to play. I know he was a little receiver back in his day, but stone hands.
Returned some punts in his days.
Yeah.
5? Returned 2 of them.
Yeah.
But Cohen had a lot of open field there. He easily could have just spun out the last defender and got in the end zone.
So it'll be inside zone. Give out there to Howard for about 3. Pounds it forward there for a first down. I've lost track of how many first downs this is. It's got to be at least 20, right?
13.
13. Jesus, Mary.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I just made that up. I don't know.
Not many. No one's really watching anyway, but we'll go with that. 13 for now. The only ones probably watching are like your mom and dad.
Instant.
Yeah, an instant. Like Instant's mom is watching his YouTube stream because.
I'm so proud of him.
She's like,
he's working at McDonald's and
she's like,
dropped out of college, but at least he plays Madden.
Yeah, I know you're still living in my basement, and I know you're still, you chase your dreams. You can be that pro Madden player and realistic franchise-wise. You know what?
It's just got a heart. He's just a young kid, 12 years old. Just
yeah, right.
He's got dreams. I try to set the best example for Vincent, whenever he comes to me with life advice, I tell him, man, just keep that chip on your shoulder. He's like, how'd you get such a beautiful girlfriend, man? I'm like, dude, listen, I give him all the advice, all the ladies and everything. It's just, he's my little bro.
Yeah, that's for sure. How about Milkman though? What a guy, he's known for that pillow talk role. He'll come in, he'll tell you about how he can't pull a girl. Blah, 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 this and that. A little bit about more of him personally as an owner. He's an interesting character if you get to know him. That's for sure.
And he's very short, though. He only comes in at, measures at 5 foot tall. So it's unfortunate.
He was 5'2" and good shoes on his tippy toes with about high heels.
So I know he played basketball, so that must have been really difficult for him. I don't know. He was like the Isaiah Thomas of his high school.
Yeah, or maybe he was that kid that just filled the water bottles and sat at the end of the bench. He wiped the sweat off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But a very good pillow talker, though. I'm sure he might get a role of pillow talk committee,
How about some other news around the league? Did you see what happened with Jameis Winston down in Tampa Bay?
I did not.
So Jameis Winston got a DWI, driving without insurance. He'll be suspended for a game, and it looks like Fitzpatrick will be the starter down there in Tampa Bay for at least the foreseeable future. I don't quite know what Jameis Winston, does in their or fits with in their future plans, but
there's a risk coming out of the draft because a lot of people said that he always forgot his wallet at home and never had insurance with him. So it was a well-known fact, but they just ignored it. They were like, "Nah, we'll make sure you get insurance." But lo and behold.
Just like the whole crab legs, isn't it right? He didn't have his wallet, so he just walked out. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I could have sworn he was just borrowing them or something, but crab legs were allegedly stolen.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what Tampa Bay does under Matt Floyd, former USF quarterback and South Alabama quarterback down there coaching him. So he's got that Division I experience. We'd love to see what he can do. Definitely a very smart football savvy user.
Yeah, I just don't understand when you're trying to make a lot of money in the NFL and do some stupid stuff like rob a gas station or something. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So
who robbed a gas station?
You know that one guy? Did we talk about that?
No.
No, we didn't. Some pillow talk.
Which guy? Oh.
You know what I'm talking.
Isheem Young?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, that's what a character. You talk about a kid.
He was like a 4-star athlete. You said
he was a 4-star athlete. State champion for Imhotep Charter. Robbed the freaking Wawa and pissed his whole career away.
That's unfortunate.
What a guy. Jesus. He had a full ride to Penn State. At least he gotten his education paid for. And robbed the freaking Wawa. Like, his brother was the manager or some shit. And, literally just, let him in or something. What are you going to do? And then there's a lot of drama. He said, oh, that wasn't me. That was but it was his hoodie. He let his friend borrow his hoodie. Yeah. You better have a fall guy if you're that popular.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, you ever see that Chris Carter talk? Was it? You got to have a fall guy. Someone that'll take the heat off you. Should you get
Did he say that?
Trouble? Yeah.
No, I didn't see that shit in a while.
Oh, I'll have to send it to you after that link of Chris Cornell songs you have yet to listen
to. Quick music plug, yeah.
Yeah, because you refuse to listen to any sort of musical things I send you because you can't evaluate.
I listened to them. Remember, I told you.
I know you did. Just yanking your chain, buddy. I mean, this game has not been pretty. It's a 29-point game. We're kind of struggling to find things to come up with.
Rosen just trying to hold on to that QBR to hopefully, still win best QB in the NFC.
Yeah.
Which at this rate seems like Trubisky's going to get that title. Pro Bowl or something.
Russell Wilson's been playing very well. So we'll see.
Didn't he play the Bears too?
Yeah, but in the sim he had 3 touchdowns and close to 300 yards in a loss.
Wow.
Yeah,
that'll be fortunate for you.
Yeah. And that's a first down there by Milkman. There he goes. He's got the bootleg. He's going to try and work and roll out on that offensive line that can't really sustain it. And as long as he doesn't roll into Khalil Mack or Leonard Floyd, I think that's not a bad strategy. He's got to run the ball, though.
He was rolling into, usually when those bootlegs happen to Madden, they get instantly sacked. So I'm wondering how, with his tackle being out and Khalil Mack on the right side, how he didn't get any pressure. But, I'm not going to question it.
He gets about 5. We just said he only had 5 rushes on the day, but he pounds out 5 yards on that one. So that'll set up 2nd and 5 on the 39-yard line, putting him in right at about field goal range there. And he's going to fake the handoff there, play action, and he's going to throw sail it over J.J. Nelson's head. Was he aiming for a reporter over there? Maybe the cameraman? Help me out with that one there, Trevor.
I'm sorry. I was looking at Instant adding me in chat. Wow. Anytime I say anything he doesn't agree with, he has to...
It was not a good throw, and there you go. There's that zona post. That cheese play, dog. Oh, no, that wasn't zona post. Same formation, just mesh. but still that glitchy route that Milkman
Well, that
lives
cheese
on.
route. Yeah, JJ Nelson got that speed too.
Yeah, it's like he bought an ebook or something. Rumor has it that he bought an ebook recently and was.
Did you know Madden's on sale for $5 in the store right now?
Oh, no way! Really? Who told you that one?
Well, I told my mom I was gonna buy it because I saw it in the store. I got her wallet, so she said she'll buy it for me.
Oh, $5.
So,
Madden must just be that trash, huh?
Yeah, it really is. Courtesy of VGO.
Well, there you go. Get your Madden for $5 and join the league. We're still accepting members. What do we got? Redskins.
Redskins, Bills,
and Vikings. Vikings, yes.
Vikings. Really? No Vikings either.
No, Lions left.
It's unfortunate. Well, I don't know if I'd say that.
Yeah. Well, at least it opens it up for new active guys that we really like, and going back to this game, Milkman's got a chance to pad some stats here with Rosen. He doesn't have a pick. I mean, this is
really
no. He's got one touch. The rest, his only turnover was a fumble. He just had been dog shit, and that is over his head. David Johnson.
I can't imagine losing against him this bad, not throwing a pick.
Yeah.
To be honest.
He had a fumble though. He had the turnover, but he also had.
Jesus, that was a crazy throw.
He also has 30 passing attempts, and like we said, Instant's gonna make you do what. He's like the Patriots, They're going to make you play to your weakness or how they want you to play. Rather than having David Johnson have 20, 25 carries and win the game for you like that. Instead, you're stuck with, Josh Rosen,
they dominated the trenches, and running the ball was clearly just not an option. Josh Rosen getting completely taken down by Khalil Mack there. Still had aggressive pass rush, Sean. I don't think he's checked him once.
He has checked him. He got him off guard. But that'll be a turnover on downs for us, and that'll be Chicago ball. And if you're Instant, you're just going to run out the clock here, chew up as much time as you can. Not much more to say about this one. I think it's going to be, wow. Ooh. This is ugly. This is what Instant regularly does to people. That's for sure.
Demoralizes them, makes them cry.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the stats. He's got 401 yards of offense to Arizona's 185. I mean, Arizona had 17 rushing yards. Good Lord. They've
been down all game.
Yeah. Mitch misses a nice throw over there, over the middle to Anthony Miller tried to set up the drag route. Nice little incompletion. That looks like the Mitch Trubisky. If you're the Cardinals, you want Mitch Trubisky to do that.
Yeah, too bad I didn't show up earlier in the game. Mitch has been on target all game.
Yeah, and so it looks like Milkman is trying to press his corners there. He's going to be a boot to Trubisky, who'll throw over the middle, and that's caught by Anthony Miller. Just floated over the linebacker's head, and that's money. 22 yards. Put it right where the ball needed to be. His ball placement is great. Anthony Miller picks up his 4th receptions for 67 yards.
It's almost the same play that Milkman ran last drive against
Yeah. Watch out for this Trey Burton. Watch out for Trey Burton here. I feel like he can definitely set up a play now that Instant is kind of lulling him to sleep with the run. I think over the middle to Trey Burton might be what is the, ending this game.
I mean, at this point, you think it would just be sportsmanlike to just run this clock out, right? I don't think Instant will pass anymore. At least he shouldn't, for being honest here. Yeah, he's putting in Benny Cunningham.
Yeah.
It's a good play.
Yeah, you don't want either of your two horses to get out, especially how balanced you are. Benny Cunningham will turn out
definitely throw out that dynamic duo.
Yeah, Benny Cunningham himself is not that bad. He's sort of like a poor man's Jordan Howard, in a way.
He's ran a few spark plays for the Bears in real life, but hasn't performed too much to make himself better than Cohen or Jordan Howard. He's like a combination of the two. He's a little smaller than Jordan Howard, decent receiving back, but nowhere near Cohen. So he's like, if either one of them got injured, he's not the worst replacement, but Just a it's a backup.
So Instant still throwing the ball up 29.
He likes to rub it in people's faces. So especially a Milkman.
These guys, they play a ton of football games. Milkman has never, ever beat Instant.
Hell of a punt.
Yeah,
hell of a punt. Johnny Hecker punt right there.
Yeah. Even his punter's great. What is there to say about this man?
Maybe some therapy. A lot of love and pillow talk might help Milkman get over this loss, but just sad times for the boys. Instant sitting here undefeated, destroying his opponent. It'd be different if it was a close game each time, but these massacres are just not. They're not the most entertaining to watch.
It's like I stayed up till 1 a.m. when I have a quiz tomorrow to cast a game that just frankly wasn't close. That's gotta be different.
Honestly, I think I should blog Instant next time if he just blows somebody out of the water. We care to film it, cover my game, guys. We'll stop beating the shit out of people, let them get closer once in a while.
I'll tell you what, though. How about... Oh, no. There's the interception. There you go. Wow. Try to hit him with that Big Joe slant special, and... Oh, my. That was not pretty.
Right underneath, huh? Crazy.
And that'll just about ruin his development. Not ruin his development, but I'll tell you what, Trevor.
I don't know. I threw 35 picks as roads and got star dev.
Oof.
So
I'll tell you what, Trevor. I have a proposition for you. You get Milky or Instant. How about you get me playing my son tomorrow? I'm gonna play my son in this league. Seattle versus Dallas. Can
cover that.
The mentee beat the mentor?
You just had a good game against Mad Bomber, who has track record of being a lot better in other leagues. Started off 0-2 and got blown out against your son. So
yeah, I mean,
he actually made it to the NFC Championship at TFGO.
Oh, really? Good for him.
Yeah, he beat Tizzle.
Oh yeah, probably because I wasn't in it. But we don't talk about that league. Next question. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Because I'm thinking we might as well wrap this one early and catch the plane ride back home, because this has not been pretty.
Honestly, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the closing statements are no, don't cover an instant game unless he's playing somebody worthy of his time. Milkman's a good opponent. He can beat a lot of people in this league. However, Instant's just I mean, at least we know. At least we know now. Until we see some, some.
There you go.
I don't think it's this roster too. Milkman has a chance with like the Texans or like another team, but like the Cardinals, I don't think he's well equipped for. This is just a bad matchup.
That'll be 43-7. Man.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, there's not much to cover.
The bad O-line versus the best, defense. Arizona's
possible running up the score? Question mark.
Nah. I'd say we make him bench all of his running backs for at least 4 games. Anyways, I think that's gonna wrap up the game. I'm definitely catching those flight home.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it easy, man. This is a mercy rule game. This is not what you. This is not what we wanted to cover. This is a disappointment for Milkman. So take it easy. Don't work too hard.
All right, viewers.
Thanks for tuning in.
Basically instant. Buy instant.
Bye instant.
You're watching this.
Bye everyone else. Y'all have a great rest of your night.